Hi everyone, and welcome to our Build Your Stack session with Workman Publishing. My name is Kaitlyn Rubinstein and I handle all of the juvenile titles for Workman and its imprints. And in a moment, you'll hear from Annie Mazes, who handles all of our adult titles. So diving right in, you can download these slides so that you don't miss a beat. So feel free to jot this link down, take a screenshot, pause the presentation, whatever you need in order to make sure that you don't miss a thing. Moving right along, these are some recently released titles from Workman that I really wanted to call attention to. Everything from I Believe in You, which is a picture book, up to the Big Fat Notebook High School series that launched this year, Chemistry and Geometry. In between those, we have Who Got Game Baseball from Newbery Honor winning Derek Barnes, Screaming Harry Armadillo, which is so fun to say, but also really fun to read nonfiction. U.S. Constitution Decoded, a deep dive into a document from our history, as well as So Embarrassing, which is funny and comical takes on embarrassing moments that middle schoolers will experience, and hopefully some that they never have to experience. New from Workman, we have the ABCs of Black History. This is a beautiful picture book written by poet Rio Cortez that takes us through the alphabet and doesn't just give us one word for each letter, but multiple words for each letter, celebrating Black history with famous individuals, little known individuals, moments in history, events, and just a wealth of information surrounding Black culture and history. And there's amazing back matter in this book as well. It's not just an ordinary ABC book. There's so much information and such an overwhelmingly amazing celebration of Black history. Hear My Voice is a beautiful but harrowing story. This actually follows 61 children in migration who were detained at the border between Mexico and the US. And the words on these pages are actually taken from real testimony in the children's own words. It's beautiful, just like I said, especially the illustrations. It's from 17 different illustrators, including Caldecott medalist Juji Morales, Pura Belpre Honor, Raul Gonzalez III, and many more. I urge you to take a look at this book on NetGalley. It is just incredible. There's also fantastic back matter included in this one. It is in English and in Spanish. And again, it's an incredible story, beautifully illustrated, and one that definitely deserves some time on your shelf. We also have Everything You Need to Know Biology. This is again a continuation in the high school series, this time with biology. They're wonderful study guides. They are not fill-ins, so definitely can be used again and again. Jungle Night, a brand new bedtime board book from Sandra Boynton. All the animals are going off to sleep until, of course, a very loud snore from a nearby elephant wakes up everyone in the jungle. And You Don't Have to Be Everything, which is a really fantastic YA compilation of poets, everyone from Maya Angelou, Elizabeth Acevedo, the first poet laureate for youth, Amanda Gorman, and many more, share the complex feelings of coming of age. It is honest and unafraid and offers girls a message of acceptance, strength, and gives permission for them to let go of shame and perfection. Really fantastic. Build Your Stack with AYR. We have some middle grade and YA here for all of you. Be sure to click on a link in our booth to enter to win your very own class set of Premeditated Myrtle. You can see we've got some starter reviews here. So we have Don't Check Out This Book, which is a fantastic epistolary. Skunk and Badger 3-star reviews, a favorite from mine. In the Role of Brie Hutchins, wonderful middle grade LGBTQ, perfect for that reader who's aging out of middle school and heading into high school. It follows Brie in the summer of the 8th grade of her life. So if you're looking and have a reader that is that age. Premeditated Myrtle, which is our cozy series for middle schoolers. And then heading into young adult, we have 6-star reviews of Tigers Not Daughters. I just can't shout more about this book. It's so wonderful, which brings me to Furia, which again, I can't shout more about that book as well. Both of these are just gorgeously written books about teen girls, and both are so different, but so amazing. Body Talk Nonfiction Anthology, the third in a series from editor Kelly Jensen, and Foreshadow, which is from Nova Rensuma and Emily XR Phan, two veteran YA authors who bring you brand new voices in the YA space. Brand new from Algonquin Young Readers, we have How to Become a Planet. This is from author Nicole Melleby as well. And this one is her third novel, and it tackles mental health. Pluto is diagnosed with anxiety and depression, and it follows her navigating her way through the realization that even with a checklist full of things, friends and family on her side to help her how she feels to put herself back together again, that there is no old Pluto and new Pluto. There's just her. It is sensitive and nuanced and beautifully written, but what I love the most about Nicole Melleby is how genuine she is in her writing, so I think readers will really love this one. The Oddmeyer is back with a third in the series, so this time Tin and Cole are going to the deepest, darkest part of the Wildwood in order to find the truth about their father. And then we have How Do You Live, which was first published in 1937 and is a favorite childhood book of Hayao Miyazaki, and it's brought to you in an English translation for the very first time, and it follows Copper and his uncle. Copper is the main narrator, and there are some interspersed chapters from his uncle where he's sharing knowledge and advice to life's big questions with Copper. Of course, one of them is how will he live, which he's questioning after his father dies. It's for fans of The Alchemist, The Little Prince, Stand By Me, and Miyazaki fans everywhere. New from AYR, we have Girlhood, which is a compilation of stories written by teens from all over the world. Kids on the March, which follows protests and kids speaking up for what they believe is right, from the March for Our Lives to the March of the Mill Children in 1903. This covers an expanse of time and is really powerfully told and inspiring. And shows how what you believe in and standing up for what you believe in can advance the causes of justice. It truly underlines the message that no one is too small or too young to make a difference. We also have Enduring Freedom. September 11th is a historic day and one that changed the course of millions of lives. And this story shares the lives of Bahir and Joe, two teens worlds away, and how 9/11 changed their lives forever. It is extremely powerful and really wonderful. I think that a lot of readers will connect with this story. And it is actually based in truth. Trent was deployed to a town in Afghanistan where he met Jawad. So this is a fantastic story and written by authors who know and experienced the things in the book. Up All Night is a compilation of YA stories from author and YA author herself, Laura Silverman, of Girl Out of Water and You Asked for Perfect. But this anthology is about the time between sunset and sunrise when the lights are off, the calm settles over the world, and magic can be felt and anything can be possible. Stories from Nina LaCour, Tiffany Jackson, Brandy Colbert, and Karen McManus, just to name a few. We have Build Your Stack with EREWHON. EREWHON is our science fiction fantasy imprint. So Scapegracers, which is a queer witch coven story about girls in high school that harkens back to Mean Girls, but the twist there is that they're building each other up instead of breaking each other down. And Rise of the Red Hand, which is an awesome ride that has a lot of really fun twists and turns. There's technology, there's the Uplanders, there's the poor. It's a world split into two, by class, and you have a hacker and you have a Shiva here who is trying to right those wrongs and bring light to the issues. Really quick, since I feel like I'm running out of time, we have Build Your Stack with Story. Story Publishing is really wonderful. They've got some great nonfiction here for you. Backlist on the top, brand new on the bottom, Mindful Moves, Monarch Butterflies, and Wilderness Adventure Camp. And last but not least, we have, second to last before least, we have The Experiment, backlist on the top again, and brand new, we have Moi Moi Look at Me, which has been scientifically proven to soothe fussy babies, as well as Reggie My Rhinoceros, which tackles death in a really beautiful and appropriate way for young readers. And then now, last but not least, we have Duo Press, and Duo has some nonfiction here for middle grade and young, a little bit older elementary school readers. That's it for me. So if you have any questions, you can grab a galley, want to connect with me, just want to chat about great books, you can. You can also subscribe to our newsletters and follow us on Workman Library and on Twitter. Thank you, and over to Annie.
Hello, I'm Annie Mazes with Workman Publishing, and I handle our adult titles. So I will be talking to you about some of them today. First up, we have What Unites Us by Dan Rather. This book has been out for a few years, but it just hit the New York Times bestseller list again because I think it is a sorely needed time for the messages in this book. It's a collection of original essays by venerated journalist Dan Rather, and it reminds us of the principles upon which the United States was founded, looking at the freedoms that define us, from the vote to the press, the institutions that sustain us, such as public education and public libraries, and the traits that help to form our young country, such as the audacity to take on daunting challenges in science and medicine. Rather provides a fundamental sense of hope, inspires conversation and listening, and reminds us all how we are connected. Next is 27 Essential Principles of Story by Daniel Joshua Rubin. Daniel unlocks the secrets of what makes a story work and then shows us how to understand and how to use these principles in our own writing. The result is an invaluable resource, says Publisher Weekly Starred Review. It offers priceless advice like escalate risk with an example from Pulp Fiction, write characters to the top of their intelligence with examples from the Eminem song Stan, earn transformations from Alison Bechdel's Fun Home, attack your theme from the Brothers Karamazov, insightful, encouraging, and filled with attitude, and as Booklist puts it, perfect for any writer looking to ensure their stories operate and resonate at the top of their potential. This book gives contemporary storytellers of all kinds a lifeline of inspiration and relatable information. Better Man by comedian Michael Ian Black is a poignant look at boyhood in the form of a heartfelt letter from Black to his college-bound son. In a world in which the word masculinity is often paired with toxic, comedian, actor, and father, Michael Ian Black offers up a way forward for boys, men, and anyone who loves them. It's part memoir, part advice book, and written as a heartfelt letter. It really discusses his complicated feelings in a very accessible way. It talks about the expectations placed on boys to man up, and it searches for the best ways forward to help young men be part of the solution. Ordinary Girls is amazing. It's an exceptional memoir from acclaimed essayist Jaquira Diaz. Julia Alvarez compared it to The Liars Club, I Know Why the Caged Bird Sings, and Educated, so that's pretty amazing company. Diaz writes an unflinching account of growing up in the 80s in Miami and Puerto Rico as a queer biracial girl searching for home as her family splits apart and she and her mother both struggle with addiction and mental health. I think it is an incredibly powerful story to put in the hands of people who aren't necessarily seeing themselves on the written page, and the writing is just electrifying. It's amazing. In Writing Wild, Kathryn Alto celebrates 25 women like Mary Oliver, Rebecca Solnit, and Annie Dillard, whose influential writing helps deepen our connection to and understanding of the natural world. These inspiring wordsmiths are scholars, spiritual seekers, conservationists, scientists, novelists, and explorers. They defy easy categorization, yet they all share an incredible, bold authenticity that makes their work both distinct and universal. It's part travel, essay, literary biography, and cultural history. Writing Wild ventures into the landscapes and lives of these extraordinary writers and encourages a new generation of women to pick up their pens, head outdoors, and start writing wild. Down Along with That Devil's Bones is just an incredible account of journalist Connor Town O'Neill's experiences as a northerner moving to Alabama and seeing firsthand the conflict surrounding the removal of Confederate statues, specifically through the lens of the removal of Nathan Bedford Forrest statues. Forrest was the first Grand Wizard of the KKK, and there are many statues to him. And so O'Neill delves into the legacy of white supremacy in America, fully examining how it's ingrained in the DNA of our country. This is a very sobering work that will appeal to readers of Tony Horwitz, Timothy Tyson, And Robin DiAngelo and Kisa Lamone, author of Heavy, says we can no longer see ourselves as minor spectators or weary watchers of history after finishing this astonishing work of nonfiction. Paper Bullets is tremendous. It is longlisted for the Carnegie Medal, and this is the remarkable true account of two brave and creative women determined to rebel against the Nazis in the only way they know how, through their art. Lucy Schwab and Suzanne Malher, better remembered today by their artist names of Claude Calhoun and Marcel Moore, distributed Paper Bullets, wicked insults against Hitler, calls to rebel, subversive fictional dialogue meant to demoralize the Nazi troops, until they were captured and sentenced to death in 1944. It's for readers interested in Jewish history, the LGBTQ movement, art, political resistance, and it has the support of historians Hampton Sides and Douglas Brinkley, and it is fascinating. Everywhere You Don't Belong. This powerful and funny debut novel tells the story of Claude Piquet Love and his quest to fit in, but as he discovers there's no escaping the people and places that made him. Born and raised in the South Shore of Chicago, Gabriel Bump tells this story with authority and authenticity as he tackles issues of race, identity, social injustice, and family. Library Journal Star Review said, with deft writing and rat-a-tat laugh until you gasp at the implications dialogue, Bump delivers a singular sense of growing up Black that will resonate with readers. The Mountains Sing is so beautifully written and is for fans of pachinko or homegoing. It tells an enveloping multi-generational tale of the Tran family, told through the eyes of the grandmother who was forced to flee with her family of 6 children during the land reform as the communists rose to power in the North. And then years later in Hanoi, it follows her and her granddaughter as her granddaughter's parents have been sent off the Vietnam War. It is vivid and gripping. Quai Mai is an award-winning poet in Vietnam. This is her first book in English, and the writing is just stunning. And it really brings to life the human costs of the Vietnam War from the point of view of the Vietnamese people themselves, which is a very unique perspective. And finally, Libertie. This book is tremendous, and I'm so excited about it. Inspired by the life of one of the first Black female doctors in the United States, it's an engrossing and powerful novel about what it means to be free. Libertie is a young girl coming of age in Reconstruction era Brooklyn. She's the daughter of a very purposeful practicing physician mother who really wants her to join her practice, but Libertie is much more interested in the arts. And she feels stifled by her mother's choices, and she's very well aware of the fact that while her mother can pass, her skin is too dark. When she's offered a proposal of marriage from a young man from Haiti who promises that she will be an equal on his island, she accepts, only to discover that she is still subordinate to him and all men. So this is a book about freedom. Jacqueline Woodson says this is one of the most thoughtful and amazingly beautiful books I've read all year. Kaitlyn Greenidge is a master storyteller for fans of Britt Bennett, Minji Lee, and Yaa Gyasi. And that is it for me. Thank you so much for tuning in. We hope that you have a really wonderful NCTE. Take care.